Today is a bad day for a lot of countries, in Europe especially. Let's get right into it. Welcome back, everybody. Alright, so before we get into this, hit that like and hit that subscribe button. Today we have a lot of different things happening, but first thing is the Bengalis. Now, last episode, they actually completely whooped around Somaliland. I actually have no idea what these guys are anymore. This is the real land that Somalia is left with. This is some Bengal troops that went rogue. Go watch the other video because it sounds a little confusing here. Go watch the previous episode. Also, I think this is episode 50, so we're a quarter way to episode 100, and we haven't even discovered the Americas yet. So I think this might be the most successful season of Civilization Restarts. This is season 2, bro. What am I on about? There's only one other competition. Anyways, and then this is actual Bengal. They're currently in the process of deciding if they're just going to leave it or if they're going to annex it. So this was barely a functioning state. But today they're going to turn their eyes on Sri Lanka because Sri Lanka hasn't really done anything at all. The blue team has multiple times tried to convince Sri Lanka to either let them have this or for Sri Lanka to take it themselves. Both times Sri Lanka has said no, declared that they are a neutral thing, and then that neutrality has eventually led them to get a civil war funded by the red team, who then took over this, and then another. I just pulled my headset off. Anyways, let's move on. Um. So the red team, and then they had another civil war because the red team was really weakened and the red team was distracted and everything, and they had another civil war, and now they're finally independent again, and now the Bengalis are here because they really don't like countries that are functioning apparently. Um, So looking at Somalia, they let that get to their head. I'm not going to lie. This time they're going to learn from their mistakes. They're going to send one general to lead all of Sri Lanka. Now that's not really learning from their mistakes because if you remember last episode, they sent like 600 different generals. That's a lie. They sent like 5 different major generals who each wanted to compete for power into this, and that led to every single person. And there was no like one general. They were all on the same level, so everyone was doing a different way of attack that led to a lot of confusion. Eventually, one of them actually went rogue, which is this state, and then that to send in one main guy who was the brother of the king right now, and that's how we got these two. This is also a part of this. Anyway, so this time they're gonna also do it wrong. They're literally just gonna send one normal general. This is not a good thing because you want some perspectives, but you don't want it to be so different. Um, that's not gonna go well because he's good. They're actually going to send in probably one of the most old school, uninnovative people. So he's not going to change his mind about anything. Once he sets foot on something to do something, he's not going to change the way he does it. Not being adaptable is pretty bad in war. So he's going to at first do pretty well, and then the Sri Lankan forces are going to adapt because that's what you do in war. But he's not going to adapt, so he's going to start getting pushed back pretty far. I'm not going to lie. This is really bad for the Bengali PR team. I'm gonna be real because this entire thing was supposed to show that no, our military is competent, even though that one dude ran away, but we're still competent. Before we go any further, let's pause real quick for the regulars of the channel who watch Civilization Restarts, who are regulars of Civilization Restarts. Last episode, actually regulars of the channel just entirely. Last episode of Civilization Restart was delayed by a day. My last gaming video was delayed by a day. This one I know will come out on time because I'm recording it somewhat early. I just finished recording the gaming video. That's gonna go up tomorrow for me. So yeah, gonna be honest. I don't know what's been happening. All the videos I'm making, I just keep forgetting to make them, and then I make them, and it's always delayed. We still have that 3 day, every third day schedule. So like one episode, 1 day passes, 2 day passes, another episode. But recently it's been 3 days passes and then another episode. I'm trying to get it back to the 2 days. That's why I'm pre-recording this video. So yeah, that's all I wanted to really say. That yeah, we're investing our time into making sure the content is getting out on time again. So yeah. I do want you to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button because that tells me you're enjoying Civilization Restarts. All right, let's get straight into this again. Bengal also has this, so they're also going to send some troops from here. And eventually, I think that guy is going to get fired because they're like, yeah, no, we are not doing this. That's going to lead to actually the king himself going in, not sending his brother. His brother is probably going to be stuck there for a while because I'm going to be real. The entire Bengali government right now is probably scarred from this area. They're not letting that brother leave from this area. They need this area on complete lockdown. They need their best general over there. So the king is going to go in himself, which the Sri Lankans are going to see as a huge opportunity to completely destroy Bengal and maybe even get some of their overseas territories. Because if they can kill the king, that's going to absolutely capitulate the state. Because as you saw last episode, if even the generals of the military itself aren't stable and go rogue like this guy over here, that means that there's definitely some internal division going on, and that is very true. The situation is not stable right now, and the fact that there's one leader that's agreed upon is kind of helping. But if that leader dies somehow randomly, like no expected time, no aging, he's currently 60 years old. People normally live to 80 in this world. In Bengal, they live to 80 as well. So he's projected to live to 80. If he just randomly dies 20 years earlier than people think he will, it's going to cause a lot of revolutions, and people are definitely going to seize the opportunity. Also, because his son is like t- uh, 12, so yeah, I don't think you're making. It's also his only child. So he's not only is he the only child, he's also 12. You're not making a 12-year-old king, so it's definitely going to cause a lot of divide. I guess it could make it a queen. Actually, I'm dumb. They could definitely do that. I take it back. Anyways, continuing with all of this, that was so much Japanese. They're actually going to under the king's command. This squadron of troops is the king, led by the king himself, Nick A30. So they're gonna lead it over there, because they thought they were the king, but he's the king, and they've now cut Sri Lanka into three parts. One, two, three. That part is so small. We can just assume that capitulates. The new Sri Lankan government is not having a good time, and they're going to call upon the international world to get involved, and someone is going to get involved. The blue team. They're going to be like, okay, buddy, you've had your fun. I'm going to need you to back off. And they're going to threaten these guys with sanctions. These guys are going to be like, you know what? We trade mostly with the red team anyways, so go ahead. We're self-sufficient. Actually, that's true. They don't even trade that much with the red team. They are very self-sufficient. The blue team's going to realize that, and so they're going to threaten war. And these guys are going to be like, go ahead. Do war with us. Because you already know we're prepared. We have the best military in the entire world. That's such a lie, but they say it still. And the blue team, I think, is finally going to realize, you know what? Maybe we need to actually get involved. Maybe we've let these guys have a little bit too much freedom. Because they used to be a blue team ally, and now they've just started hating blue team. Probably because the blue team abandoned them in the war against the Mughals, which made them lose literally all of their territory. They had to basically start over, and they had an entire government change, and their entirety of their old capital literally burnt down. So yeah, and that's going to lead to the blue team beginning a naval embargo. They're going to actually send a lot of their military from the waters of Shanghai over here, and these guys are looking like it might go into naval war. So blue team begins sinking a lot of ships. Not going good right now. And now they haven't officially declared war, so it's still salvageable. They say they will literally pull out the exact moment that a peace is signed between Sri Lanka and Bengal. Bengal says there will be no peace until Sri Lanka surrenders unconditionally. So it's not looking good. Bengal, if I was you, I would have given up by now because they just reached your coasts. Now, the blue team, I think, has probably decided they don't want to go in. They don't want to launch any military in there. I think Bengal knows that too, which is why they're playing this so casually. But still, doing this is definitely going to limit the amount of supplies that get there because now they have to go like this, and that is also probably being patrolled by blue team boats. So yeah, that's happening. Meanwhile, these guys going to continue over here, and they're going to finally enter in the capital. So that's already not going well. Meanwhile, that's going to get captured right there. They're going to continue to invade, and let's just say they finally do capture the capital. They expel the old government. Expel. So the old king is sent into a he's expelled from the country. He's sent to Blue Team India, and now Blue Team finally realizes they actually need to do something, and so they're gonna not only push back Bengal over here, they're finally going to get full on involved by making a very very small landing, not even on Bengal, on Bengal, on New Bengal, their little coastal thing in Australia. They're gonna make a little bit of a landing on there. They're gonna capture some stuff. Now, currently, only scientists are allowed there, so they're gonna take hostage a lot of scientists, top generals, and the National Guard that is supposed to take care of this area. A lot of their members are gonna be taken. That was also their major base, so that's left defenseless. And now Bengal finally comes to the negotiation table. They realize that they're kind of exhausted over here, and they offer peace. They offer dividing the island based on the current situation. Just whoever has what stays with them. So like these guys, they can just take all of this. Blue team agrees to this also. They're like, you know what, fine, that's fair. Only one that doesn't agree is Sri Lanka, because why would they? They're literally losing almost all their territory. But blue team says they are not going to back an invasion of Bengali-controlled lands in Sri Lanka anymore. So Sri Lanka is forced to basically just lose all this territory, which is not. If I was Sri Lanka, I'd be even more mad because this is why they had that neutral thing. They just did not want to get involved with anybody whatsoever. Now, this new government was pretty pro blue team because they got independence from the red team. Like that's how they came to power. But I think now they're gonna definitely start rethinking this, and I think they're definitely gonna start to realize why the old government was so isolationist, because this is in such an area that the blue team and the red team care about it but don't care about. Like they want it to be their territory, not just their ally. Which means that when it is a government that's somewhat stable, they really start losing interest because they can't like abuse that government that much. Okay, anyways, let's first of all let's erase this completely. That capital just isn't gonna exist. Let's start drawing this. So okay, it goes something like this and then like that. Okay. Oh, that little thing is gonna be really hard to draw. Something like that. Yup. And then ooh, it's too thick for this, I'm going to be honest. Let's just say it's like that instead. And then we can draw a little thing right here. Okay, maybe I can't draw it. Okay, maybe we'll just say it's like that. Nope, that looks horrible. Okay, maybe I have to draw it like that. Let's see, the best I can do is probably that. Uh let's just clean this part up, I guess. 1 pixel. 1 pixel to change everything. That is officially Bengal territory. Core Bengali territory. They're going to include it in their country. Um, okay, so that looks like an angry face. That does. Like, those are the eyebrows, those are the eyes, and that's the mouth. That does look like an angry face. Anyways, let's move on. That took way too much time. I was not expecting it to take that long. There's gonna be some Ottoman and French stuff happening now. So the Ottomans and the French, they're gonna come together. They're gonna be like, you know what? I'm kind of sick that Rome still exists, and they're going to launch an invasion of Rome. Quick check. Is this the same color as Bengal? That's my question. It is not. It is not the same color. Anyways, so the French are going to launch the invasion first. They're just going to come right through here, blow up a bunch of stuff. The Okay, that took too much. Ottomans, same thing. They're just going to come through here. Now, I'm going to be very quick with this because I want to move on from Rome. Like, I'm just done with Rome existing too. They're absolutely useless. They literally just take up space on the map. Like, I would much rather do so much other things with this. Austria is also actually going to get involved in the war just to grab up a little bit of land, but not too much, I don't think. I think they have the budget to invade too much. Grab just that. And from here, the Ottomans are going to continue the invasion. They're going to get all the way up here. And I think that's pretty much it. We can definitely assume that, yeah. Okay, France capitulates the rest of Rome. Let's take a look at this very sped up peace treaty. I don't think Rome. Who's messaging me? I don't think Rome got the best treatment from me there, but this is what they get for dying so early in the series and then just not ceasing to exist. Like, bro, who told you to stay in the series this long? Only the red team and the blue team get to stay this long, and actually successful countries, unlike Rome. Okay, so that's gonna happen. I think France can probably get all of that. Actually, no, I want to draw Austria's first. So Austria is going to grab up just that land, just a little bite out of Rome, and then France is going to grab up the rest. Okay, maybe not like that. That looks horrid. That looks horrid. Okay, let's. Okay, that looks better. Still does not look good, I'm going to be honest. Maybe it needs to go something like this. Hmm. 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 Let's. Okay, that looks, I guess, a little bit better. So they can annex that, and I think they could probably get away with a little bit more land just right over here along these parts. They could probably get away with that as well. And okay, that is the official map of Rome now. The rest of the land is just going to be decolonized. There's no point to even keep that land. So Ottomans probably getting the most out of this deal, I'm not going to lie. If you notice, no one actually went for the capital just because it was not worth it. Normally the capital is the best city in the entire country. Not with Rome, bro. Not with Rome. Every country was equally pitiful. So, okay, with that, we have a pretty strong looking Austria, pretty strong France. Ottomans did not really make that much of a difference, except their strongest opponent is now gone. I mean, it was gone a long time ago. Next, there's going to be some Athens. Athens. They're going to do some stuff. Athens is going to launch an invasion into Albania. This is not going to be just them. Also, actually, no, it is going to be just them. I was going to say Balkans get involved, but you know what? No, they're not going to get involved, and they're going to actually do pretty well. They're going to capture all of that. Yeah, that's good land. That's a lot of good land. They're going to get all the way up there, and they're going to capitulate. Athens has officially reestablished themselves as a military power because they had not been doing stuff for a really long time, especially after the Ottomans kind of whooped them around a little bit there. But now they're back. They're back now. They're back and they're better than ever. That might be the only thing they do. I was thinking there was gonna when I wrote my notes, I wrote there were gonna be multiple wars, except now looking at the map, there's literally just one state. These guys don't really count. They're like southern Romania almost. Let's move on. Next thing we're gonna have Athens. No, not Athens. Some Silk Road stuff. Some wars in the Silk Road. Now that's gonna be these guys who are finally, after waiting so long. Oh my God, they were waiting so long for that. They're finally going to get accepted into the red team's alliance because the red team is a little bit scared now. I think they're starting to realize Ottomans might abandon them with how much the Ottomans are doing without red team approval. So yeah, they're finally going to do that. What if I have a question? I have a very important question. What if I'm wrong about this? Okay, no, I'm not wrong about it. I was gonna say, what if I'm wrong about the this little color being red team pending red team red team alliance? What if I'm wrong about that? I might be wrong about that, but I've gone with that explanation for so long now. Let's just move on. So they're officially a part of it. The first thing they're going to do is get the red team into a war. They're going to launch an invasion into here. Um, this is going to be to defend their border. Now it's going to be successful because they're the ones that set the state up. They know its in and outs, and instantly they've just done that. Now this is because they want to secure their border by literally erasing the state from existence, which not only secures their border, also cuts Shanghai off from the rest of the world. What was once the two storylines combining into one, it's now looking like they're going to be separate storylines again. So yeah, Shanghai is no longer connected to the rest of the world by controlled land. So that's gone. Next thing that's gonna happen is they're gonna get immediately kicked out of the red team because the red team's gonna be like, "What the hell, bro? We spent so long making the Silk Road Initiative thing so that Shanghai would be connected with us, and you just ruined it." So they're gonna be kicked out almost immediately. Shanghai is not gonna respond because they know that there's no point in responding. They have to go through so much. Now these two are going to completely collapse because these guys are going to shut down their borders, so Shanghai can't send aid to them. A lot of the farms to give food aid to these guys were in this, and so they're going to collapse too. And yeah, I think you realize I'm kind of undoing all the Silk Road stuff here, I guess. But honestly, what can I say? This wasn't going to last. I told you when I first made this part of the map that this is not going to last very long. And it lasted very long because I never got around to finally destroying it. So today is finally the day. All this, gone. Those three states, they're gone. Next up, we can finally do uh this. Now these guys are going to completely pressure these two into joining them because they were so into remaining neutral. I think they forgot the reason no one remains neutral in the Silk Road. That is because these guys, they completely destroy any neutral state. So, okay, Silk Road Republic thing. Now at the borders of Shanghai. who's also going to do the exact same thing. They're going to combine all these guys. They're going to pressure everybody into joining into one state. So now there's only 3 states left. They're actually they're going to keep. I'm going to keep these guys as their own like semi-autonomous provinces, just so we can tell the difference between all of them. But yeah, that is not looking good. With that, let's address the recent wars that have been happening in the series. With a New Zealand conference, the blue team is going to call a New Zealand conference to address all the stuff that has recently been going down in the series. And first thing, everyone's invited this time because Rome is gone, and and the Mughals. I think everyone who was banned is now unbanned, so everyone can come. Mughals did not get the invite once again, but this time neither did Bengal. That's actually really big. So other than that, everyone's invited. Actually, no, I think the Bengal does get the invite because the blue team kind of sided with them, also because they're right here. So they're gonna get the invite, and let's discuss. So immediate sanctions are put onto Stanistan, which completely collapses the economy. This will matter next episode because when the economy's gone, Persia might be able to make a comeback because there's no pressure on them. Next thing, this state, the blue team kind of abandoned these guys. I'm pretty sure the blue team abandoned them, but yeah, I think they're rebel controlled now. I don't remember. I don't think they're fully rebel controlled yet. So blue team fully pulled out from there. The capital's gone. Oh no, they are rebel controlled. I just didn't remove the border. Um, I'm still not going to remove the border. Namibia is going to get an official invite to join either the red team or the blue team alliance. They're going to choose to remain neutral. Big mistake, seeing what happened with Sri Lanka just now. A lot of countries are going to put a lot of sanctions on a lot of different countries. Now, this is going to include the entire red team alliance putting sanctions on France. Uh, France putting sanctions on red team and blue team. So now only the Crimean Alliance. Oh, also the Crimean Alliance is going to open their borders. They're going to be like, anyone can join now, guys. He's got to be in Europe or Asia. No Africa and no East Asia and no Oceania. So I guess they still don't want to be that global. They still want to keep it compact. Actually, they are going to make a requirement. You have to share a land border with one of the original members, and all the original members are going to be given a permanent council seat. Which means nothing can happen to remove them from the alliance unless there's 4 of them unless all three. So if even 2 vote to remove them and then one doesn't do anything, that don't matter. All 3 have to actively vote to remove the member from the alliance for them to actually lose their alliance membership. Other than that, every other country they can just get kicked off if everyone thinks about it or if Crimea decides. Let's be real. So yeah. Oh, also these guys are officially, because they were trying to be a part of both the Red Team Alliance and the Crimean Alliance, they're officially going to completely pull out of the Red Team draft because the Red Team was like, we don't want someone that's in 2 alliances. So you remember they put their thing back into an application process. And I guess they're not going to sit around to wait for the Red Team to judge them anymore because they actually do end up leaving the alliance. Let's also move that thing up there now since that spot is free. So they have officially left Red Team Alliance. We'll see how that plays out for them. I don't think it will really matter. They don't even share a border with the red team. Uh, yeah. I guess that's pretty much it for this episode. This episode was a little bit short, but last episode was 30 minutes, so we can't really be complaining. Yeah, I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, subscribe. Actually, one more thing will be happening. Azerbaijan's economy is probably dying. Let's make this video just a little bit longer. I should probably what was I going to say? I should probably give you the rankings for economy, military, quality of life, GDP per capita. So, GDP firstly, and then overall also. So we're gonna do top 5s again. GDP, top 5. First is gonna be blue team again. Second, I'm gonna say red team, obviously. Third, third. I'm going to put Crimea. I think they've reached third. They've solidified their spot there. Fourth, France probably, and then fifth, I would argue either Shanghai or the Ottomans. I think Shanghai probably fifth. So France has officially beat Shanghai. I think Shanghai used to be third, so actually Crimea also beat them. Now next GDP per capita. So like how richer people are basically on average. Number 1 I think is still gonna be Crimea. Ooh, actually no, because they got all this stuff recently. That might have made them. Yeah, I think that is going to bring down the average to second place. So now number one is actually going to be the Arabian Peninsula, the Arabian Sea Republic. Number two is going to be Crimea, obviously. Number three, Blue Team, which is actually insane when you consider how big their territory is. That means across all of this, across basically the entire Indian Ocean, they're still third place in richest people. Fourth is going to be this is difficult. I would say fourth is probably these guys actually. Because hear me out, they're between the two richest countries in the entire world, so probably their people are probably getting rich. And then fifth, fifth is difficult. Fifth, I'm gonna say Georgia, because especially recently with Azerbaijan losing this thing, which means all the trade from Europe to Asia has to go through Georgia now. So their people are definitely gonna be really rich now. Military, number one, Blue Team. Number two, Red Team, obviously. Number three, though, now I think it is probably going to be the French or the Crimeans. I think French, fourth, the Crimea, fifth, probably Ottomans, I would say. They haven't been in a war in a while, so I can't really tell, but they are pretty strong now. Uh, what else was like? Oh yeah, overall. Overall, number one, Blue Team. Number two, I would probably actually. I have an argument. I feel like France has overall overtaken Red Team. Actually, no, I think overall it's still Red Team, but France closely behind at third. Crimea, they're still recovering from that civil war, so they're at fourth. And then the fifth best country overall, probably Shanghai, I guess. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.